Cut them off. Go no contact. They're narcissists. Cut them off. So I see a lot of posts about cutting family off. If you got someone toxic in your life, this person is a narcissist, this person is this. First off, let me just get it right off the back. I'm not a doctor and I cannot diagnose or I cannot tell who a narcissist is. So every single person on this earth has a spectrum and acts or has certain traits or will demonstrate certain traits of a narcissist at some point in your life. It doesn't make you a narcissist, so chill. You know what I mean? Chill. But anyway, let's get right into what I'm trying to say. So this whole family thing. So I'm seeing a lot of posts about, I cut my mom off, I cut my dad off, I cut this family person off. They no longer in my life. And listen, I get it. I get it. And what I'm trying to say is not an easy pill to swallow. You know what I mean? A lot of times in life, we got to take some tough pills, So anyway, everybody has to deal with some type of trauma. So I'm referring specifically to parents and parenting. So your father has had to deal with trauma and he's handled it in the way that he thought he knew how, or used the best set of skills or knowledge he needed to navigate life. But everybody generally has their trauma and everybody deals with it differently. So when you cut your parents off or you cut your siblings off, listen, people got to do what they got to do, but you got to remember, your family, your blood, you should invest a lot more in saving those types of relationships. Listen, we've been through COVID, and there's a lot of disconnection in this world. You know what I mean? A lot of people are dying from loneliness. So this is kind of about loneliness and the importance of family as well. You know what I mean? If we put more work into our family structures and we're more committed to working on family relationships more than we were, or more than we would other relationships, the world would probably be a better place. Okay, there would be less lonely people. We're cutting people off at a clip that's just ridiculous. You can't just be cutting people off. You know what I mean? On the strength, I got some friends who, in the back of my mind, I say, my man's got a free pass. And what I really mean by that is I have some friends who have done certain things for me, who've been there for me. So I give them some free passes, you know what I mean? If they mess up or fuck up once, a couple times here and there, I'm chill, I'm good, you know what I mean? I'm still like, you still my man or whatever, But real talk, we come out of COVID, everybody, even when we were staying with family during COVID, you know what I mean? We were going crazy. We wanted to interact outside of family because you get tired of interacting with family. So it's really important to try as much as possible to be empathetic. And I know, listen, it can be easy for me because, I got both parents in my life, my siblings and I are like 100. The love is there, but I know other families that do not have that cohesiveness or that type of love going on. So I'm not gonna be prescribing a one size fit all. You know what I'm saying? I am speaking to people who, if you feel hurt by it, if you're still feeling hurt by the loss of family, you could cut people off, but it don't mean that the pain ain't there. So I'm really just saying, listen, you should just invest more time in nurturing relationships. You know what I mean? It's work. No relationship comes easy. With your kids, with your spouse, with your parent, with your sibling, with your work colleagues, relationships take work. So before you cut people off, you gotta value and take a step back and try to figure out, listen, what's this relationship worth to me? I see too many people cutting people off on the strength of, oh, this person, passed on this trauma. Look, your like I said before, your mother and your father had trauma. They had it passed on from their parent. They handled it the best way they knew how. As humanity progresses and, we progress on this journey and we evolve this and that, we find out more things about ourselves and we start working on different things at different stages in life. So it's hard to just say, listen, my mom didn't handle the situation. She didn't have that knowledge that time. We got the knowledge now. So it's what we're doing with the knowledge. You know what I mean? So the knowledge is really, when you think about why we exist on this planet, you know what I mean? There's this love in this community in which we live. So you got to figure out and think to yourself that, you know what I'm saying? Is this promoting that? And cutting people off is not. There's wars. There's just too many people losing people because they looked at them wrong or because they said something to them wrong or because, listen, relationships got to be worth more than that. You got to put in more work. You have to put in more work. Loneliness is not a cool place to be. It kills. And I don't even have the statistics. I ain't no doctor or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all Google it and see what loneliness is doing to people. So invest more time in your relationships with your family. And that can include friends as well. But I'm talking about your blood family, because you got to understand the family structure is just basically it's a controlled environment for you to learn how to deal with relationships. Okay, so it's relationship management, it's conflict resolution. You know what I'm saying? You grow up with your siblings if you have, or parent, whatever, but you have arguments with your siblings. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, you know what I mean, we were duking it. We were duking shit out. We were getting busy fighting, you know what I mean, throwing, punches at each other, doing all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we still had to make up the next morning, or we still had to do stuff together, because mom would be like, I don't give a rat's ass what's happened to you guys last night. My mom would just chime in and start chiming in and got quit. So look, we all go through hard things. We all deal with things on a level that we say, oh, my mom really hurt my feelings. But think about it. Sometimes trauma is even dynamic. Something that once traumatized you could end up being the foundation of some strength. You know what I mean? Because your parents can deny you something that'll traumatize you. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, I mean, not particularly, but I must have been traumatized, a few times when I may have asked for the car and felt entitled to get in the car to go out. And my mom and dad would be looking at me like, nah, or, I remember there was a party my parents refused to let me go to. Actually, there were multiple, but I would look at them like, yo, this is like the party of the year. What's up with that? Why can't I go? But now in hindsight, you know what I mean? I got two 16-year-olds and I feel like, listen, if they're going somewhere, I'd like to get an idea of where they're going, and I'd like to, maybe help them. Maybe as a parent, I might feel like they're not ready to deal with that type of adversity or that type of situation, because maybe I haven't provided the skills yet, or maybe I don't feel like life has taught them those skills. But let's not get into that. Work on family. Work on family. Don't give up. You know what I mean? If you got mom issues, dad issues, your dad's being a whatever it is, you know what I mean? We have power. And when you think about it, you could think to yourself that, you know what I mean, I can't really solve this, you know what I'm saying? You can't really solve it by saying, listen, mom, dad, are you free on Friday? And yeah, can I call you on Friday or something that I wanted to ask you? So you kind of, prep them, so they're already sitting there and they'll be like, give me an idea. And you just say, oh, you know what, was this something that I was kind of going through my mind a bit about us, and I just wanted us to just kind of have a chat about it. So, mostly to say, yeah, whatever. And then on the day, just say, mom, dad, this is really difficult for me to say, but I think it's the right thing for me to do. And honestly, it's bothering me so much that I think having this conversation in itself would even help me understand and help me heal a little bit. And then you can chime in and say, listen, remember when I was a little kid and I asked you to take the car out and this, and that? And your mom might probably say no, or dad might say yeah, whatever the situation, But then you just want to kind of ease into it and say, I remember that day when you said you wouldn't let us go, and that really hurt my feelings. And because of that, I lost a friend, and I this and that. Kind of bothers me right now because it's turned into this type of trauma, and I feel like, you know, you really hurt my feelings, and I just feel like I gotta get it out to you. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm not guaranteeing the result. You know what I'm saying? I'm originally African. I'm from Ghana, so you know what I mean? Some African parents would be looking at you like, hey, didn't I feed you? Didn't I pay for you to go to college? Listen, you turned out all right. Let's not get into that. I can understand that, but you gotta take that shot. What's it worth to you? So take a shot. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. If you are from some really really toxic situation, you know what I mean. You got to be the judge of that. But real talk, before you cut your family off, take a few minutes to think about what it's worth to you. Because family is really something. I know mine is. Peace, y'all.